There is one question that most high performers never ask. They ask, how do I get better? They ask, what do I need to add? They ask, what's my next move? But the sharpest thinkers in the world, the ones who build things that last, they ask something different. They ask, what would destroy this? And they make sure they never do it. That's not pessimism. That's precision. Welcome back to the Winning Edge Coach podcast. I'm your host, Kev Oakley, and in today's 10-minute episode, I'm giving you one of the most powerful thinking tools in existence, a mental model called inversion. It came from a 19th century mathematician, was picked up by the Stoics 2,000 years ago, and was weaponized by one of the greatest investors who ever lived. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to use it. Charlie Munger, the business partner of Warren Buffett, was once asked what the secret to a long and successful life was. He said the following: "All I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I never go there." Now, on the surface, that sounds like a joke, but Munger meant it completely, literally. His entire approach to investing and to life was built around one core discipline. Instead of obsessing over how to win, he obsessed over identifying the exact behaviours that cause people to lose, and then he systematically eliminated every single one of them from his decisions. He called this inversion, the practice of flipping a problem on its head. Instead of asking, how do I get rich? He asked, what makes people go broke? Instead of asking, how do I build a great business? He asked, what destroys great businesses? Instead of asking, how do I perform at my best? He asked, what habits guarantee I perform at my worst? The answers to the inverted questions are almost always clearer, more honest, and more actionable than the forward ones. And here's why that matters for you. This isn't just one man's philosophy. The roots of inversion go back centuries. The science behind why it works is solid. The Stoic philosophers Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Every morning they would deliberately imagine what could go wrong that day, not to be gloomy, but to remove the shock from setbacks before they arrived, and to expose the gaps in their plans while there was still time to fix them. Seneca wrote, "The unexpected blows of fortune fall heaviest and most painful, which is why the wise man thinks about them in advance." Fast forward to today's psychology research. Psychologist Gary Klein, studying why military and emergency teams make better decisions under pressure, developed what he called the pre-mortem technique. Before a mission or a project begins, the team is asked to imagine it has already failed completely. They are then asked to write the story of how that happened. Every failure, every error, everything that went wrong. Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel Prize winner and one of the most respected names in behavioral science, later endorsed this as one of the most reliable ways to overcome the optimism bias that causes most plans to collapse. Why does optimism bias matter? Because we plan forward. When we ask, how are we going to succeed? Our brains are wired to ignore evidence that contradicts the outcome we want. We see what confirms our plan. We filter out what threatens it. Inversion cuts through that filter, gives you permission to think like a critic. And critics, used correctly, save you from disasters that enthusiasm alone will never see coming. I'm going to walk you through how you can apply this today. I want you to do a simple 3-step inversion exercise. You can do this now or come back to it with a pen and paper, which I'd strongly recommend. It takes about 15 minutes and it can fundamentally change how you approach your most important goal. Step 1, name the goal. First, pick the most important thing you're currently working on. One thing: your performance in sport, your business, a relationship, your health, a project. Whatever matters most to you right now, write it at the top of the page. Step 2, invert it. Write your failure manual. Now ask yourself, if I wanted to guarantee that this goes completely wrong, what should I do? Don't be polite about this. Don't protect yourself from the answer. Write down at least 5 specific behaviours, patterns, or decisions that would absolutely guarantee failure. These might be things you're already doing without realising it. That's exactly the point. For example, if your goal is to build a high-performing team, these are some of the things you might come up with. I'd give people unclear expectations and never follow up. I'd avoid difficult conversations until things escalate. I'd take credit for wins and distance myself from mistakes. I'd be inconsistent. Great one day, unavailable the next. That list isn't abstract. Those are real failure patterns. And now you can see them. Step 3, flip it. Turn the failure manual into your operating rules. Take each item on your list and invert it again. Those failures become your minimum non-negotiables. Not aspirational, not goals, rules. Things you simply don't do, or things you commit to doing consistently without exception, because you've now seen exactly what happens if you don't. This is what Munger meant. He wasn't trying to be the most brilliant investor in the room. He was trying to be the most reliable, not stupid investor in the room. And the results speak for themselves. Here's what I want you to take from today's episode. Most performance work is additive. Add a new habit, learn a new skill, try a new strategy, and that work has real value. But inversion works differently. It's subtractive. It removes the invisible landmines that quietly undermine everything you're building before they go off. And here's the truth that Munger understood better than almost anyone. A single catastrophic decision can undo years of disciplined effort, which means protecting what you have is just as important as growing what you want. So before your next big decision or goal, before your next training block, your next project, your next commitment, spend 10 minutes with an inverted question. What would make this fail? You might be surprised what you find. That's your winning edge for this Wednesday. One tool, 10 minutes. Now go give it a go. I'll see you at the weekend for the main episode. If you found this episode valuable, share it with someone who needs to hear it. If you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe button on your preferred podcast platform, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you found this episode useful, it would really help if you left a quick rating or a review. It takes less than a minute and it helps the show to reach more people who are serious about performing at the best when it matters most. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.